Hello. Okay, I'm having webcam balancing act problems this morning. Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy play date. Okay, let's say some hellos to people already in the room. We have Jilly, first one in, not just in time, but early. Hi, Gracia, L daughter. Hello, hello. Michelle, hi. Simon, yep. It's fun every week. Every week. All right, let's see. Oh, forgot to prepare a question. We talked about this. You still have time though, because I'm gonna, I'll just blather on for a few minutes. Hi, Sandra. Let's see. We have Juliet in here. Hi, Juliet. Earthy Shy Tarot. Vicky. Becca in from the very beginning with lots of hugs. Hi, Heather. Oh, wait. Oh, jumpy chat, jumpy chat. Robin watching Pajama Party. Oh, we need to talk about Pajama Party. Just give me 1 second on that one. We have me since 8:18. Hoping for the Fool. Ooh. Spitfire. Hello. Oh, that's a cute little kitty emoji. Jennifer. Hello. Tyke and Light Moon. Sean, too, right from the get-go. Mike. Bastet. Brand. Kathy, Maharet, Jackie, Christina. Boy, you guys are all coming in. Selkie. Science to Soul Jen up early. Kimberly, my neighbor with the little bunny emoji. Happy Easter to anybody who celebrates that or just needs a reason to say happy Easter. Hi, Lori. It's the Hermit's week. So now we're fighting. Is it the Fool? Is it the Hermit? Yeah, so for any of you who are watching the Pajama Party or saw that go up this morning, that was a debacle. Let me just tell you. So yesterday, it was very spontaneous. Some of my friends here in the room talked to me into going live spontaneously, just about 30 minutes, maybe 40, before I actually did. I was in my pajamas, glasses, hair all mussed, and I'm like, fine, I'll do this. But mainly it was because I just wanted to brag about the Blushing Fool deck that I got from my sons. And I mean, who doesn't want to chat with their friends in their pajamas? So it actually was a lot of fun. It was the first time I ever did a live on my phone. So we didn't discover until like 5 minutes before the thing ended that I'd like partially covered up the microphone of the phone. And then after the live finished, oh no, Julia, no buffering, but hi. But after the live finished, the thing would not finish processing. So finally, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I think watching a live back when you can't see the chat, you're missing like 3/4 of what's actually happening in the video. So I put it on like unlisted and I'm like, okay, well, if the thing never finishes processing, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just spontaneous silliness. So if it doesn't go up, it's fine. Well, then this morning, it finally finished. So I went ahead and made it public. And I'm like, people are going to wonder why the heck I'm doing like 2 lives right in a row. Catherine, hello, watching for the first time. Welcome. Hi, Mendy. Nice to see you in here. I'm just talking about the debacle that was the Pajama Party spontaneous. I'm a planner. Clearly, I am meant to stay a planner for the most part, but every once in a while, you got to shake things up. Hi, White Tree Tarot. It's not just me, Simon. So that processing is just generally that's good to know because I was getting very impatient and I wanted Shane and Jamie to see it because we talked so much about their gift. I'm like, you guys need to say what people said. Plus, Shane, I may have gotten you a few customers for your bags. So he was sewing like crazy yesterday. So way to get him going, everyone. Let's see. Oh, hi, Linda. Welcome in. Okay, so now that I've talked about nothing for the last 4 minutes. If I missed anyone who came in, wave at me. YouTube is taking nearly 20. Yes, it was. It was nearly 24 hours. Okay. Well, at least I know I'm not being picked on. Not that YouTube really cares who the heck I am. I sounded a little egocentric, but anyway, so last week, yes, all the Shane bags. Last week, we had the Three of Pentacles. You know, it was a funny week. So the week before we had, oh, I've got that light, but we had the Seven of Swords, and we were all like super active with that card. We were all super active in the Facebook group. And the Three of Pentacles just apparently didn't inspire us very much this week. It was pretty quiet in the Facebook group, but we did see some, I think, here and there. So I appreciate anybody who shared their Three of Pentacles cards or who did the activity. I know, Elle, you did it. And I think did anybody else post the activity? I didn't even do it. Again, I am not leading by example. Jen, the middle-aged baby witch, you made it. Hello. Yes, you made it on time. Everybody's on time today. This is awesome. And Brant went live just right after me yesterday, and so now his is showing chat, so that's good. Anyway, so did anybody actually have this card come up for them during the week? One way I will say that it came up for me, not so much as it relates to work or tasks, but as it relates to sort of home and family. I had a lot of collaboration this week with friends, with family, getting on video meetings and chats. We had Tuesday the 7th, we had a video happy birthday for Sandra. So it was Sandra the Whispering Well. It was her birthday on Tuesday. So if you want to give her a little belated birthday shout out, feel free. But I really had a lot of collaboration time, just not in the area of work, but I feel like the Pentacles are often about home and family. So that's how it came up. That's how it came up for me. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Carmen. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else coming in. Nancy. Did I just say that? Oh, Tiny Dancer is here. I think I said hi to Mike. Hi, Aquarius Owl. Kelly Barrett, you're not even late because I haven't even started. Like, I haven't even started. Oh, lots of collaboration at the grocery store. Do you mean collaborating and trying to avoid one another, Juliet? So anyway, I'm hoping that we all have questions in mind on what we want to ask the Tarot Playdate card this week. Am I going to use my usual deck today or my new Blushing Fool? I have to use the usual deck because we have, it's got the Playdate energy, but I actually did think about that, Robin. I actually did think about it. But this is the deck that is slowly diminishing. I feel like I should stick with it. But I'll find ways to work my Blushing Fool into my tarot practice as often as possible. Hi, Jackie. I said hello to you. I know I said, I'm sure I did, but hi. Sending a big hug. Okay. So for anybody who's new here, because I think we had somebody at least say this is their first time. What we do before we draw our card for the week is we gather a list of 5 questions that I will use that we'll use our card of the week to answer using the 5 alternate decks from my collection that I pull so that we can explore different versions of the card. So if anybody has, oh, that's so sweet, Elizabeth. If anybody has a question for me, do pop it in all caps. Sometimes people will put them in lowercase and then I'll miss them. But what question would you like to see answered this week? And let's try and avoid like the yes, no, because I want to give us all ways to sort of dive into the cards. Okay, so Simon's got a good one out of the gate for us. What should we spring clean from our lives this coming Ostara? That sounds great. Love it. The sun is out. It's shining today. I really am dying to get outside. Luckily, I have a pretty walkable neighborhood, but it's been so active. It's actually kind of hard to maintain distance from people. But I think most people are trying to be pretty good, except for I have a group of neighbors that they all get together with all of the kids and they play sports. And I'm just like, what are you guys doing? There's coming Ostara. Thank you, Simon. Christina asks, how can I support my family this week? Oh, I love that. Thank you. And I don't know if I said hi to you, but if I didn't, hello, hello. I can't remember what happened 3 minutes ago, clearly. How can I support support my family this week? Oh, Carmen, you're trying to trick me and give me a yes or no question. I don't think I want the responsibility of us trying to answer that question, although I understand it. I do understand it. Michelle, how can we maintain structure in our lives while everything has turned upside down? Oh, you're just asking for the hanged man, aren't you? How can we, oh wait, this is Michelle. Thank you so much for your questions. How's it going, Elle? Have you come up with one yet? I'm just calling you out just like that. Every week I tease her. How can we maintain structure in our lives? I'm missing so much other chat and just only seeing capitals right now. Well, everything is turned upside down. Okay, I've got 3 so far. Ooh, Bastet has, did I miss one up here? Oh, Ostara was last month. So why don't we just say during this spring season? Well, I guess it's not spring down in Australia. Should we just say this coming season if our star has already passed? I don't know clearly I don't know the Sabbats. What's Friday? Okay. Okay, I'm just getting caught up on the season correction here, or the Sabbat correction. We have, is now a good time to, oh, see, how can we show gratitude for our earth? That's right, I saw that one, Bastet. Thank you. Can we show, interesting questions today. I say that every week, but I mean it every week. Gratitude for our earth. I think I saw, oh, Mike, even though it's lowercase, I spotted it. Uh-oh, don't die. Don't die, fountain pen. What seed should I plant in my life right now? So I'm going to just pluralize it just for the group because that's what I, oh, well, no, I can do it. I can do it as singular. What seed should I plant in my life right now? Thank you, everyone, for your questions. If you have one, like Essence, I see you have one. You said, Jen, did you say strike your question? Wait, my chat just jumped. Oh, strike your question. Uh-oh, Simon says give it up. You don't think we can say what should we spring clean from our lives this coming season? I feel like it's adaptable. All right, let's see. Wait, I've got to back up here. Jilly, I know the chat jumped. If I missed your question, I'm so sorry. How can we best use the energy of this card to manifest our best life this week, or our best this week? I like that, Jilly. I'm going to take it, but now I have to renumber these. This is an extra challenge this week. This is just going to be how it goes. Okay, so from Jilly, thank you for the backup question there. Work pen, Jilly. I know I just filled this pen, so it's just being something. How can we use the energy of this card to manifest our best this week? All right, I'm going to recap these so we can keep them in mind as we shuffle. All right, so we have from Christina, how can I support my family this week? And family is any kind you make it, right? Not just blood family, friends family, the family we adopt, because I got lots of that kind. 2, Michelle, how can we maintain structure in our lives while everything is turned upside down, or seemingly, right? 3, Bastet, how can we show gratitude for our earth? From Mike, we have, what seed should I plant in my life right now? And 5, how can we use the energy of this card to manifest our best this week? I am loving, loving, loving these questions. Okay. Essence, it is okay. Yeah, I was trying to avoid the yes, no's today. But I always appreciate people throwing out suggestions because sometimes we can twist it just a little bit. Okay, did anybody come in that snuck in on me here? Thank you, Selkie. I thought somebody said late to the party. Oh, Anne. Hello, Anne. Okay, so we have our deck, our ever getting skinnier deck. And let's see what we get. So, how can I support my family this week? How can we maintain structure in our lives while everything is turned upside down? How can we show gratitude for our earth? What seed should I plant in my life right now? And how can we use the energy of this card to manifest our best this week? Jilly, that is okay. I am probably, I could never judge anyone for multitasking while watching YouTube, because if I didn't, I would never watch YouTube or I would never get anything done. Just come back for your question and make sure you're able to look at the card. All right. I feel like, I don't know, I'm feeling a really special kind of energy today as I shuffle this, and I can't explain it, but I'm feeling a little tingly today, folks. Oh, but we can't go in on a bad shuffle, so we'll do one more here. What am I gonna do when I have like 2 cards left trying to but that's okay, that's many weeks away. All right, I got it. We're gonna look at it together. What? Okay, I told you I was getting some vibes. I told you I was tingly. How you feel about this card? You knew it had to come up eventually, right? I actually think this is a great card for today and for our questions. So much to dive into with this one. Oh, so it seems like we have some pretty good reactions here. So Essence will take it. Simon says, yay, Elizabeth's birth card. Aquarius Owl's card for the year. Kelly, dun dun dun. Transition time. Mendy likes the death card. Nancy's excited. Oh, right. I know, Al. We'll talk about. I know. Maharat's nice. This is going to be a great card to look at today. It is pertinent. It really is, right? The tarot every week, I feel like I can see why we're getting the card that we're getting. Jilly says renewal, perfect. Sandra says great. Here's hoping something good is coming, says Jen. The card feels very appropriate. Juliet says, hey, I got a positive vibe right away. So that's good. All right. Yeah, this is only our second major. We are on our 19th week of Playdate and our second major. All right. I think you guys seem pretty excited. Oh, Elle, you're right, because he was saying he wants the dark cards. He is going to be disappointed. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Christina, there's this card, as much as we look at it as transformation and change, and like Jilly said earlier, renewal, sometimes it can represent death depending on the context, right? So our first major was the world, right? That's the only major that we've had, I think, so far. Simon says a parting of the ways is afoot. Tiny Dancer sees a white horse. So initial kind of thoughts, let me get this light a little bit different. Sorry. I like that it kind of warms up the daylight a little bit, but when it shines right on the cards, it can be a little glaring. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit better. So let's just kind of talk about what we know about this card. What are the meanings that come to mind right away when you see this card? Some people see this as a card that's that can invoke fear, especially when you read for somebody else who doesn't know tarot and hasn't associated all the other meanings with it like we have, I think, probably. Earthy Shy says, I see the blue background. Oh, so this right in here, this blue background? Mindy says, it's the end of something big, hopefully quarantine and the virus, right? So right before I pulled this card, right, somebody was saying, or maybe that was you, Essence, that was saying, is it going to end soon? Maybe we're getting a clue here. Simon says, facing up to change and accepting the natural cycle of things. Transformative energy, says Bassett. Hi, Purple Wave. Welcome in. Juliet says, change, hopefully for the better. Change old concepts for new, said Mike. So there we're talking more conceptually, right? Rather than literally. Sandra's noticing the person in yellow in front of the horse catches her eye straight away. Yeah. To me, I feel like whenever I see this card, the first thing for me that kind of, well, maybe not always, but today the flag grabbed my attention. So we're going to have to talk about that. Oh, I didn't bring my book. I didn't bring my symbol book. Oh, but I have a backup plan I'm going to talk to you guys about. Okay. Oh, hi, Psychically Yours. Oh, so this is your card for the month. Yep, we got the death card today. And for it says purposeful, nothing getting in my way. Aquarius Al, even with this Bahar-Smith, this has already been a death year for me. You know, it's been a year. I'm with you on that one. That is for darn sure. Everyone is equal in front of this writer, says White Tree Tarot, right? You know, you don't see the, you know, death doesn't see class or race or any of those things, right? It comes for us all. Death must occur before renewal. Yep. Let's see, who else do we have here? Oh, let go and trust the universe, said Elizabeth. Beckett sees the flag with me first as well. The white rose, says Earthy Shy Tarot. The mystic rose on the flag promises new beginnings, says Kathy. Oh, sorry, Essence. I didn't scroll back to actually verify my guess. The strength to bring about necessary and radical change, says Al. Simon, let go of the past. Don't fear the future. We're noticing that white horse. Tiny Dancer says more death coming. Purple Wave, a halt or to slow down. All right, you know, there's a lot. You know, this to me, you know, we have a few different change cards in the tarot, right? Especially really disruptive change. We have our Tower, as we know. We have the Eight of Cups, which we've had in Playdate. We've had the Six of Swords. We have the Ten of Swords. You know, all these different types of change that can happen. Some of them I think are change that we see more as happening to us, and some are more that we are choosing either because we want to or because we have to. So when you see change in this card, just out of curiosity, do you feel like this is change inflicted upon you? Do you feel like this is change you're participating in willingly? Just some food for thought if you want to share some of your thoughts on that with me. Let's see. Inevitable transition, says Maharet. Juliet says the flag represents harvest time. Reaper's task is to bring in the harvest, not to destroy. Destruction followed by renewal, says Mike. The sun is rising in the background. There is always hope, always. You know, and that's, yeah, we do have that sun. So let me ask you this, just because I also often see this sun as rising. Does anybody ever see the sun as setting? I'm just curious if anybody ever looks at it that way or had it come up that way for them in a reading. Hi, Katie. Yes, do come back. Come back when you can. Mike says the birth of new ideas. Jamie says the child's open innocence and acceptance of death's presence. The sun is always brighter on the other side of the wall, says Toadstool. So, or Robin. So is that kind of like the grass is greener kind of brighter, or is it really brighter where we're going? Purple Wave, a change inflicted normally. So you feel like this is something that's happened to you rather than with you, I suppose. Maharet sees the sun as rising. Bastet sees the sun as setting. Jackie says you are allowed to let go of the past or something that is not working. Yes. Let's see. Ooh, what did I miss? So Juliet and Simon were on the same wavelength there. Did I miss Juliet's comment? Did I read it out loud? Oh, the harvest time. Okay. Essence 18, death comes for us all, so morbid, but so real life. I always compare dying to being born. You don't know what is outside the womb, and that's got to be just as scary as not knowing the afterlife. You know, I mean, I think there's a reason that babies cry when they come out, and it's not just because they needed air, although that's probably a lot of it, in all honesty. Bassett says, like in the end of a long day, and finally a good night arrives for us. Earthy Shy says, sad to say, but a cleansing before the rebirth. You know, I think we're going to find as we go through the questions that we asked and we answer those questions, I think we're going to find that this card really answers them very profoundly. Simon, the white flower represents the downward pointing pentagram. Oh, yes, it does. So you can see those 5 points right there. Elle says you can accept or deny death. Accepting it, you are filled with grief and emptiness. Denying it, you may never be free, dragging the past into the future. Well, neither one of those sounds fun. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but sometimes you have to laugh at the stuff that's hard, right? At least that's kind of a coping mechanism of mine. Elizabeth, transformation like a caterpillar to the butterfly. Hello, Jennifer Compton. Oh, Kathy, completion of a cycle and the opportunity to start anew. Definitely. White Tree Tarot. Those two towers could be the same ones which are pictured in the moon card. At least for me, they always seem very similar. I absolutely think those are the same two towers. And that's sometimes, I think, for me, why I see the sun as rising more than setting is because I feel like the moon has risen beyond those towers as well. But in all honesty, that moon could be setting there as well. We really don't know if this is east or west, right? But I do tend to see the sun as rising, but I want to make sure we're kind of looking at the different ways we can look at these cards and challenging some of our assumptions where we can. That's the beauty of Playdate. And I love it when you guys give me like opposing answers, one right after the other. I've seen that happen a few times. Elizabeth said, it's time to get rid of things that don't serve you. Tiny Dancer, who would want to live forever in the same form? You know, eventually it gets tiring and old. Has anybody watched the show The Good Place? The last season of that gets very interesting. And yeah, I probably shouldn't go down that road. But I'm just saying, it made me think of kind of what happens near the end of The Good Place. Oh, somebody's sawing outside. That's awesome. Good timing, folks. All right, so Elle says there's some judgment card vibes going on with the sunset and two people looking up, like in Judgment. These two down here, very, very good correlation there. So Essence 818, exactly my thoughts. They cry, Jen, but also find comfort. Not that I'm pro dying right now. I want to live a lot longer, as you do all. Right. Simon says the eternal city, a paradise which we shall return to on the day of judgment. Is that what's represented back here? And I'm about to pull this card close so we can really dive into each of these individual symbols here. Robin said, I never noticed the boat and river in this card before. It's hard to see in this particular deck. Oh, yeah. Let me get this close here for you. Yeah, I love The Good Place. It really introduces some interesting questions, doesn't it? This represents the Heavenly Gate. Okay, so it is on Netflix. The final season has still been streaming. They wrapped it up this year, so it's still on regular television. Ooh, you really see the linen in this card today in this light. All right, so we have our rose with our 5 points, and then we have another 5 points on that inner part of the flower. We have our red feather on our skeleton's armor here. Sorry, I'm shaking and trying to point things out. Look at the red eye on that horse. Does that make him evil? Does that make him what? Then we have our sun in the background. And what can we see back here? So Simon, you kind of were mentioning a city, or is that mountains? What do we see back there? Then we have our religious looking figure here. So here's the boat that Simon or that Robin was talking about there. A lot of blue background there. And then we have these two people here, and then this poor person who looks clearly trampled. And then what do we have? Oh yeah, isn't that like a king that got trampled? What is this? What is that right there? Is that, I can't quite make out what that is. There is so much going on in this card. Sean says the Pope figure is bargaining. Okay. Elle says gray sky is opposed to the golden sun. The gray sky warns against indifference and apathy. Jen says, this card feels like something inflicted upon me, but I have a choice as to how to react to the thing and what to do with the death or change, right? This does have that sense of inevitability, right? All things come to an end. Like that's what is it? What is the quote? The only thing constant is change, right? So how we deal with that, I think, really determines how we make our way through this life and how we deal with the things that are more challenging and even the things that are more positive. Because when we have something really good that comes to an end, then we're faced with the grief or loss of that and how we're able to process all those different kinds of change. Oh, I'm in a mood today. I'm in a pontificating kind of mood. All right, let's see here. Elle said, I never noticed the evil horse eye. And I shouldn't say that just because it's red, but that's what it kind of came out like. Jen sees Skeletor. He-Man. I have the Bower. What is it he says? I don't know. When he raises his sword. Melissa asks, do you think, oh, hi, by the way, do you think the red feather connects death to the Fool and the Sun? Well, we definitely see that red feather in the Fool. Do we have the red? Oh, I guess we do. On the end of the stick, right, is where the red feather is in the Sun card. Or it's kind of like a banner of some kind. Elizabeth, the Dead King. I'm behind in the chat, but I'm going to read these anyway because you guys have so much good stuff today. The Dead King represents the ego that clings to what it knows and cannot let go. The Ship of Souls is what that ship is. Ooh, good one. Oh, shoot. Every time I move my mouse. The king is definitely dead. The Pope figure is bargaining. Oh, yeah, I read that part already. Robin says it almost looks like skull and crossbones pattern on the horse's bridle. Ooh, let's get real close to that and see. Why, yes, it does. It certainly does. Good eye there. A bugle? What's a bugle? A bugle question mark? Did I say that? Did somebody mean a buckle? I don't know. The Eternal City, Simon. Oh, in the background. That's the Eternal City from when I asked that before, not the mountains. Got it. That's really cool. Is that the Horn of Judgment? Is that thing at the bottom that I was pointing out? Focus. It does look like some kind of a musical instrument, doesn't it? I'm finding this card so beautiful today. Let's see here. Some sort of a brass horn or instrument, trumpet. Somebody had not noticed the trampled person before. Oh, what is on me? Oh, purple wave. Embrace the change that's coming up, says Bastet. Oh, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power. Thank you, Jen, for that childhood flashback for me. Elle says the Black Rider, Amir, not just a question of letting go, but also actively bringing something to a conclusion, warns against harshness and unjustified aggression, encourages positive, consistent action. Ooh, good stuff. That's really good stuff. Heather says the Pope represents the idea that belief can help us get past our fear of death. Yeah, the question is what to believe in, isn't it? Let's see. I just have to say that the writer looks like I heard it all before, and he doesn't look like he enjoys his job. Yeah, I don't think he finds fun in being the bringer of all of this, at least not in appearance. The red feathers in the hat of the Fool and the hair, in the hair flower crown of the Sun Baby. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm so far behind in chat. I'm answering questions that I asked like 3-4 minutes ago. What? No on his head, said Simon. What's on his head? You're not talking about the city, right? Oh, no, the feather? Oh, the feather. You must be answering the same question about the sun. Yes, sorry. Okay, I'm going to get caught up. But I just don't want to miss any of the good stuff that you guys put out here. Oh, Theo, hello. The maiden from the Strength card won't look at death, and the child from the Ten of Pentacles is offering flowers. Oh, are these? So these, you're seeing these children from the other cards. Very interesting for the maiden and the child. Oh, that's a very cool correlation there. Butterfly Magic with Hot Tea came in to hang out with us. Hello, hello. Is it the King's Scepter? Oh, gosh. All right. I'm going to have to skip ahead. I'm so far behind. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Skeletons are a symbol of immortality, as in the one thing that remains the longest after death, says Heather. He is Mort from Discworld. I don't think I understand that. Elle says, a king without his crown on the floor, death of the ego. I feel like you said that to me recently, Elle. Were we talking about that? Bassett, the Pope reminds me of the film The Seventh Seal, playing chess with death. Ooh, and it's like that bargaining thing that somebody said earlier, right? Simon, the red feather is the flame of life found in the death card, the sun card, and the fool card. The red feather shows the liveliness of a person's soul and heart. Oh, that's really beautiful. Robin asks, is that gold horn possibly the end of the Pope's staff that he's dropped, or the king's scepter? Yeah, I guess that it definitely does look like that's been kind of dropped by that king along with the crown off of his head. Is that like more like, is that a cartoon character? Purple Wave, was it Morton something, somebody, I don't know. All right. Oh, this is such good stuff. So we've talked a lot about the symbols. So what do you guys, we talked a little bit about the towers in the back. So do most people see these to be the same as those in the moon? Do you see them as something different? What does that mean to you? So one thing that I recently remembered is I have an app on my phone. A lot of people ask about tarot apps, and I have an app on my phone that I never hear anybody talk about, but I stumbled on it a couple years ago, and it's really great because it's not one of the Fool's Dogs app that everybody talks about. It's called Galaxy Tarot, and I have an Android phone. So this is kind of what the logo looks like there. But what I really like about it is you can do a card of the day, you can do readings like you can in the other apps, but you can really dive into each card. So if I come in here and I select the death card, I can see a close-up. Whoopsie, come back. Hold on, put this card down while I do this really quick. Come here. So I can see a big picture of the card. So I have like a tarot on the go. Then I get, keywords and a meaning. But what's really cool about this is it has a section where it dives into each of the different symbols on the card, and it kind of shows you where those things are in other cards. Now, interestingly enough, this one does not address the red feather. So it doesn't always give the same stuff like in that Rider-Waite book. It also gives like the zodiac and chakra and rune and I Ching, and then it also dives into the colors. This here has crystal associations, so it's really cool. So like here, for example, the color black, it'll say mourning, the end, secrets, magic, power, violence, evil, and then it has like other associated cards. So anyway, if you want kind of an on the go, want to learn more about the symbols, like here it talks about the sun. It's kind of a great little reference. We've talked about that that book, but anyway. All right, so while you guys have been chatting and I was showing that off, let's see what I missed, and then we'll probably get here pretty soon to pulling one of our alternate cards. Oh, Mort means I knew that. I even took French. Thank you for, sometimes I just get overly literal, I think. So the bargaining, I'll hold this up while I'm reading these comments. So the bargaining is a form of grief. Oh, it also means, oh, yeah, Jen was saying the same thing. Heather, according to Rachel Pollack, death does not mean transformation. It is actually the moment we decide to remove the mask, kill the ego before the transformation can take place. So preparation for transformation? You Android. Sometimes I feel, oh, do you use that one, Elizabeth? Most people I talk to have not heard of it. Let's see. The name of the app was called Galaxy Tarot, and it looks like it has like a black background with blue stars on it. I think it's available for iPhone as well, but I know it's definitely available for Android. Let's see. Oh, somebody said, Simon said the two towers are usually a gateway. Marge, hi Marge. I love tarot symbolism too. Let's see. Learn Tarot is a great free app too. Oh, I haven't heard of that one, Simon. Oh, the Galaxy one isn't on iOS. So I know Simon has an iPhone, so learn tarot. Maybe that's the that'll be the trade-off there. Okay. Jilly's bringing some numerology in for us. So if we add 1 plus 3 equals 4, the Emperor, the structures, so the 1 plus 3 and the 13, obviously, the structures, either real or in our minds, are changing, dying to the old ways and rebirthing to, we don't know yet. Do you say it like that? Like, we don't know yet. And that is the sticky wicket. Oh, that's one of my favorite phrases. Yes, that is a sticky wicket. Marge says tarot on the go. Yeah, so there, we've got a few app suggestions. Oh, I'm sorry. Here I'm suggesting something when 3/4 of the world have Apple iPhones. Oh, thanks for posting that link, Elle. So Robin has a question. Why would Death feel the need to wear protective armor? Well, nobody's happy to see Death, are they? I don't know. All right. Let's start looking at our alternate cards. So every week before Tarot Playdate, I randomly draw 5 decks from my collection, which is ever changing. Some come, some go. Sorry if I'm kicking anything. I'm readjusting myself, my legs here. So I just randomly pull 5 that are Rider-Waite Smith based decks. I'm not going to try and spring Thoth on you or anything, or Thoth or Toth or anything like that. So we've got a selection, as we always do here. You'll like some, you probably won't like others. So our first alternate card for today, ooh, and this is where I always get really disorganized with what I'm trying to do here, is from, I don't have to, I guess, dig very far into these decks because they're right up there. So the first one is going to be from the Robin Wood Tarot. Classic Robin Wood. Here is our Death card. So I'll go ahead and pull this up close so that you can see it. And then while I'm doing this, I'm going to read some of your chat questions here once I get some focus. So Robin asks, why does the flag precede its flagpole with the rider moving forward while the feather on the helmet is being blown backward? Conflict and air currents. Death defies the air currents, Robin. Lethal fashion. Are you being sarcastic, Elle? Becca, do you hate this if she's even still in here? Yeah, the white rose certainly stands out in this card, doesn't it? And the red, I mean, that red. This also kind of reminds me of that Death card in the Lightseer, but almost like it's the close-up version of it, right? For those who know that one. So Mendy says, I think the armor is a reference to the Knights of Templar. I can't remember where I read that, but it was an addition by the Golden Dawn. Oh, that's interesting. White Tree Tarot says Pamela, i.e. Pamela Coleman Smith, Pixie, was doing a lot of art for theater. So I think some of the pictures have some elements because they look good. It's just pretty, right? Jilly's digging the red and the green in this card. I love this red robe. I haven't used this deck a lot yet. I think I've worked with it for a week, and I don't pull the Death card often, I'll be honest. Marge says the white rose equals purity. The birch trees that Bastet's noticing here. Simon said Becca's fave too, but I can't figure out if you're being literal or sarcastic. I feel like I should know this. Aquarius L says the Lightseer Death card is my favorite Death card. The yellow butterfly, what does that represent? So there we have that butterfly. Maybe that's part of the hope and the renewal, right? Butterfly is always, the butterfly coming out of the cocoon, transformation. Kelly says the predominance of red and white makes me think of blood and bone. I totally get where you're getting that. That really resonates. Sandra says, I love the Death card, the Mask of the Red Death. Ooh, yeah, this red really stands. It's gorgeous. Becca, don't get baited. Okay, I'm getting it. SNC. She must not like it. She's not even here. She ran off. Yeah. Good point. You are British. I really should know. Nothing is not sarcastic. So Anything, does this kind of trigger any kind of different meaning to you or different feeling than when you see this one? Does this feel more on the mortality side of things and the ending? Does this feel more like a renewal opportunity? Does it change the where it's come from and where it's going for you? What do you think? Earthy Shy says the red reminds me of a nice glass of Merlot. Ooh, I'm a cab gal, but yes. But the deep red of the Merlot, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm always up for thinking about wine. Robin Wood feels kinder, less harsh and destructive, says Jen. Yeah, we haven't trampled over. Although this one to me, so here's something that's really interesting. You know, death is facing forward, right? So does it feel more confronting, more that you are kind of me as the person viewing this card am confronting or looking at death, or death is confronting or looking at me? Oh, Simon's been behind. It happens to the best of us. I managed to do a really spectacular lag in one of Becca's chats. So Michelle says this card makes it feel more personal without all the other characters in the RWS, right? Without the religious figure and the trampled king and the maiden and the child. Yeah, there's something, it is more personal. I totally get what you're saying about that. It looks ominous, says Christina. Bassett says, I sometimes get Red Riding Hood vibes with this card. Yeah, I feel like this character is a lot less innocent than or naive than Red Riding Hood, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, so this white stick cane here, Anne says this make me feel immediately that we're stumbling forward blindly towards the future, or stumbling blindly for, yes, I get what you're saying there. Yeah, the RWS picture looks like I'm coming to get you on a horse. You know, I feel like he could just pass right by me. You know, he could just pass right in front of me, maybe never see me if I hide behind a bush. I don't know. Jilly says the white roses at a grave symbolize the promise of heaven. Sandra gets Edgar Allan Poe vibes from this card. Well, you know, I bet you wouldn't be the only one. Let's see, did I miss anything else on here? So as we look at this card and we think about the death card in general, our first question, technically it was, well, actually, let me see if we have anything in the book here, because I have it right handy, that might also lend to this. I always love trying to do this one-handed and keep from like flashing glare in your face. The end of an era and a beginning, a reminder of mortality, a great change, a discovery that changes the seeker's life direction. So that's pretty simple. So our first question, oh, I want to make sure I'm keeping up with the chat here. Yeah, that red cloak is pretty gorgeous. So Christina asked, how can I support my family this week? Ooh, that's a good one to answer with the death card. How can I support my family this week? Anybody have some initial thoughts on that? Butterflies are Little Red Riding Hood. I'm thinking on this here for a second. I think for me, when I think about, and I'm looking at the picture in the camera, which is why I'm looking down, so you have to forgive me, because it's either I turn the card to look at it or I look at it in my computer screen here. Jen, except that they may be changing due to what's going on. Yeah, and that's kind of where my thoughts were going. It's like reminding them that things that happen, oftentimes things that happen to us that we may or may not be prepared for, but we have to know that things are going to keep moving and things are going to be changing, and there is that hope for the future. We have this ginormous white rose that tells us that, you know, we're not seeing withering and dying plants in the background. We're seeing growth and opportunity and springtime and yellow butterflies. You know, so it's maintaining that hope and remembering that, as we kind of said earlier, maybe even I said it and I just want to requote myself, is, you know, this too shall pass, right? Let's see, stay away from them. You know, Christina, that's actually a really great take on this card. It's like, I can support my family by staying away from them so that we don't get each other sick. Here I am getting all deep, but that's actually a great interpretation. Kimberly says, always look for beauty, even in the quiet and still times. Jilly says, give them hope. Remind them that nothing lasts forever. This too shall pass. Great minds, my sister. Great minds. Bastet, maybe we should let our past behind us and start fresh with our loved ones, no matter what happened. Elle says, the rose is behind the skeleton's ear. Do they have ears? And shoulder. Provide an ear to listen and a shoulder to cry on. Right? So be there to support families when they are struggling with grief or dealing with the changes that have happened or are happening or will happen. Being that supportive shoulder. I love that, Elle. Jamie, you made it. Hello. That's my future son-in-law right there. Part of the devious duo, I'm now going to call them. Purple Wave says, it's okay to reflect, pause. There's hope still. Yes. See, I get all kinds of squishy vibes when we get talking about some of these and answering some of these. Psychically yours. People fear the Grim Reaper, but he is helping you out and helping you navigate the other side to your afterlife. To answer, help them navigate the other side of uncertain times. Essence, big white rose and beautiful greenery, very inviting. Maybe the grass is greener on the other side. Who's going to check out the gardens? Send me a pic. Yeah, if only we could get pics, it really would help, probably. Tiny Dancer, the virus gives life and takes it, genetically speaking. Oh, that's true. All right, does anybody else have any additional thoughts on this card? Are we ready to move on to card and question number 2? But what a gorgeous card. And I feel like some really great answers to that question. All right, let me set my little box over here to the side. Okay, I always feel so self-conscious about how long it takes me to get organized, and then I end up leaving a mess. I'm going to just take my time today. I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling through this. All right, let's do this one. So this is from the Textured Tarot by Lisa McLaughlin. I just said this. I feel like I just said this name yesterday or something. I didn't pronounce her name right. So this is a collage deck, so some people will like it. Some people won't. But that's the truth with every deck, isn't it? All right, so here is our Textured Tarot deck. So this really, I think, focuses on one particular aspect of this message. Thanks, Jamie. That's true. You wouldn't know any of these people. So this is a very simple depiction of this card. What do you think? Arthi Shai Tarot says, one of my favorite decks. Our white rose just keeps getting more and more prominent with each of these cards, doesn't it? Maybe we needed we're having a bit of an evolution here with the white rose. It is pretty. Does it dredge up anything? Does it make it more difficult to read the meaning of this card? Yeah, Jen, as I really love this deck. I think this particular card for me, and other people may totally read this different, so please do share your thoughts. Show closer. Okay, pull this one up close. Here we go again. Of course, are these all roses in this card? Looks like some other kind of flower. Does anybody know? Yeah, the rose by itself. Yeah, I feel like as beautiful as it is, and it definitely offers. So one thing that's interesting, which we see this a lot with the death card, we don't see the title on this card as we do in some decks. And I know some creators choose to do that where they, like here, right, with Temperance, they have the title, but with death, they don't do that. Sean says these are wild roses. Butterfly Magic says, funny thing, I associate the red rose with love, yellow pink rose with friendship, and chrysanthemum with death, or the black rose. So where does the white rose fit in? Anne says peace and regrowth, even when surrounded by overgrowth and brambles. Jen's not sure how she feels about this. Oh, Tiny Dancer sees baby's breath in the background. That tarot lady. Oh, hi, by the way. Cottage rose is in the background. White rose is new beginnings. One flower has gone, dried, but others keep blooming in the background, the cycle of life. Yeah, does it feel like this one is, it does. It feels like this one is starting to die more so than blooming, right? It looks like these petals are maybe going to fall off. Elle's brain died at this card. Is that what they were trying? That's totally what they were going for. You know, it looks withered. It could be less intimidating for some people, but it's less readable to me, says Gracia. Yeah, and I think I'm finding the same way. Like, I feel like with this card in particular, I bring back in what I know about this card in particular, and I apply it, and I see maybe, I feel like this card is maybe trying to take the sting and the fear out of the death card, but I think it's important to recognize some of those other elements. And I know a lot of people in the community will talk about, you know, kind of neutralizing some of these harder cards a little bit too much. You know, and that's all a matter of opinion and taste, but it's beautiful. I don't know, it gives us a whole ton new to go on. Purple Wave says it reminds me of my Nan since past. Oh, I hope that's a good memory though. Michelle says with all the flowers in the background, maybe this reminds us we're not alone. Ooh, I like that. And, you know, we don't really know. I mean, this fading into the darkness, I feel like that's very intentional, but I'm not entirely sure how to read it. Anne says it could be a bud opening. Yeah, that could be. So let's talk about our second question. And if I have to, I'll pull one, pull our original out for us to see if it answers, but maybe we got the right card for the right question. I don't check them out as I pick which deck to pull next. So this question was from Michelle. How can we maintain structure in our lives while everything is turned upside down? I feel like I want to answer this really similarly to how I wanted to answer the previous question. It's like, how can we maintain that structure? It's maintaining that hope, right? And maybe I'm reaching for the easy win there, but that's what comes to mind for me. Ooh, Elle, I like that. Stand tall, right? You know, don't be afraid to just stand tall and just stoically move through this, right? Purple Wave says White Rose is peace or healing. White Tree Tarot says if the one on the front is our rose, we care about it more than those other ones in the background. So I see it as a card of loss and sorrow. Bastet says focus on one thing at a time, on that one rose in the front. Ooh, that's a great way to look at that, you guys. Kathy says the white rose symbolizes purity and everlasting love, a new start. Anne says keep pushing through, like push through the chaos and the brambles and whatever else might be back there. Juliet says the flowers have not lost structure. They continue to bloom. Jen says knowing that things will change and we may need to change to a different form of life structure. Yeah, I think it's really important that we don't expect things to look exactly the same when we get on the other side of this thing. I fully expect and honestly hope that things will look different in a good way, right? Heather says, I think this card is saying that we can't maintain structure in our lives. We have to let go so the new structures can come about. Yeah, right? Embrace that change. Accept that that change is happening. So maintaining hope, you're right. It is hard to maintain structure. Things are different. We're not living the lives that we normally do. So maybe letting go of our expectations of that structure. Like what you're saying there, Heather. Oh, good. Purple Wave. I'm glad you have fond memories of your Nan. I believe when the RWS deck was made, I believe death really meant death of a loved one. Death was more common then due to World War I, Spanish flu, lack of commercialized medicine. So that's, thank you, Butterfly Magic with hot tea. Yeah, you know, maybe some of this is, you know, an evolution or a transformation of how people interpret this card in general. Sean says, even though what's in front of us feels withered, there, you know, there are blooms ahead. Sorry, I'm sort of restructuring your sentence. White Tree Tarot. Yes, I loved how Simon said it in one of his streams. A new normal is coming. Yeah, and I think we need to maybe embrace the opportunity for a new normal, right? Jen says there is no maintaining with death. We need to rebuild and recreate. Yeah, I think that's a really great great turn you guys have taken in answering that question. I like it. So Michelle, hopefully you feel like that question has been answered for you if you're still hanging about. I think you are. Oh yeah, you are. You're right there. Being reminded that we're not alone. Okay, good. All right, shall we look at, there wasn't a ton of symbology to dive into in that card. So let's get our third alternative deck. Okay. Let's go. I have one weird one, and you'll know why in a second. All right, we're going to do the weird one. So I have here the in-between tarot. And the reason that I say that's weird, but maybe, and again, I didn't look at the question again to figure out which one is next. I'm sure subconsciously I remember somewhere in the background. So the unique thing about the in-between tarot that I won from Simon and Jennifer Ball's giveaway that they did at Christmas time is that each image on these cards represents the transition to the next card, basically. So what I believe we should see here is the transition between death and the star. So that's going to, no, death and temperance. I know my major arcana, I promise. Here are the backs of these cards. Oh, bye, Kelly. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your dinner. So let's take a look at Elle's still bitter, but let it go. Transform, change, Elle. Ooh, interesting. All right. Yeah. So this is basically, this will give us just a little something different to dive into here as we look at the transition between death and temperance. So this is this card. It's really pretty. I'm going to pull it really close. I need to stop. Every time I bring out this deck, I mention where I got it, just to rub the salt in Elle's wounds. The clouds look like a phoenix too. See, I see like the angel. See, like the temperance. Do you see? I see the angel of temperance in this card. Yeah, I think this is a phoenix for sure. Very Order of the Phoenix. That's actually quite a dark book. You tried. God loves a trier. Oh, that's hilarious. The Phoenix rising, right? I think that's the first thing that a lot of us are really noticing, aren't we? An angel and a phoenix. Jen says the phoenix rising back to balance. Yeah, I have a real affinity for the phoenix. And in fact, Shane, my talented son, drew me, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's in my logo on my channel banner. And it's also when I showed my tarot goodies from Christmas, he did this wood carving of a phoenix with all the 4 elements or the suits of the tarot and a bed of crystals, like this gorgeous thing that is someday going to be colored and become my logo. But the idea of the phoenix and rebirth and being able to reborn and take off and become new is just something that really resonates strongly with me. This is the in-between tarot. So what this is showing us, and you can kind of see it here with the titles on the side, is it's showing us what's happening between death and temperance. It's not really wanting to focus very well. Hi, TK. Hi, baby. So you guys notice the phoenix? Do you notice anything else? I find this really interesting that we have kind of this island surrounded by all of this water and all of this emotion, if you are going to read the water that way. Oh, Jen sees the angel now that I pulled it back. Okay, now I gotta go forward. Oh yeah, competition round 2 this coming Christmas. Do I let Elle? No. There's a hole in the center of the island. Yeah, I feel like that looks like scorched earth to me. Let me see if I can get it close enough. Focus. I have to focus on a face or something and then it'll focus. Come on, don't make a liar out of me. Don't make a liar out of me. Is it going to do it? The camera doesn't know what to focus on. Maybe the words. Focus on the words. I can't get it to do it. It's being really temperamental. There it goes. There it goes. So it looks kind of like scorched earthy to me. Oh, hello, I'm back. I think this card is really beautiful. It looks like a golf course. Oh, Elle posted a link to the In-Between Tarot. Thank you. So is there anything in particular that this brings forth to you as it relates to death? Moving on to Temperance. We don't really talk about that a lot during Tarot Playdate. Each knows kind of what card comes next, but this really kind of forces us to do that a bit. Yeah, he's hanging around here. Oh, now he's going that way. Yeah. He likes to make his presence known at least once in every Playdate, right? Okay, so I'm not sure, like I said, I think for me, this definitely talks about the change that's coming and moving into, now this is really interesting because with Temperance being sort of about that internal balance, right? Between, emotions and passions and things, there's a lot to deal with after death or change or whatever. And maybe this is, us preparing to be able to do that. White Tree Tarot. It looks like the ash pile from where the phoenix was born. Yeah. So maybe this will help. I will ask our next question. So this one, oh, interesting. Interesting. So this question was from Bastet. How can we show gratitude for our earth? How can we show gratitude for our earth? I say by minimizing the damage. Yeah, we left a little scorched piece here, but then we left it alone. I don't know. Let's see here. Butterfly Magic's hungry. Essence 818, an opportunity to move on from your current path before it's scorched and you burn with it on that lonely island. Yes. How can we show gratitude for our earth? Here I even see, I'm just going to take this approach from what I see in the card. But, we have this angelic cloud here looking down on the earth and maybe showing some loving appreciation. Robin says, keep the damage to the very small island. Juliet says, no more pesticides, right? Or maybe recognizing, Tiny Dancer, eliminate overpopulation. Oh, through death. That's very morbid, but, valid. White Tree Tarot, by understanding that temperance equilibrium is needed, even if we needed a death moment to understand that, right? How many of you have seen those pictures going around online where with everybody staying at home and movements being reduced, now pollution is clearing and we're able to see things at a distance and nature, see the Himalayas from India, like things that just we haven't been able to do because of the man-made pollution. What's the word I want? Like the dirt in the air. Goodness gracious, Jen, words. Jen says, this card makes me think about all the healing that Mother Earth has been doing now that we're all in hiding. Exactly. Elle, stop burning through resources. Yeah, Essence says, the night sky is so clear and beautiful, right? Aquarius L just saw that the Ganga River is now potable. What does potable mean? Robin says, baby boom, new life springs from isolation. Yeah, we probably are going to have a bit of a baby boom from this. Bastet says, let the earth rise again like this beautiful phoenix. Yeah, Butterfly Magic says, you were listening to Sadhguru, am I saying that right? Speak yesterday, was saying that all of humanity should take 6 weeks off from pollution like this every year. Can you imagine the difference it would make just giving Mother Earth a bit of a break? Oh, drinkable. Oh, that makes sense. Thank you. Can be drunk. I should probably have realized that. Sorry about the light flashy there. Man, it's a beautiful card. Yeah, I don't know that I ever would have seen something that would have caused everyone to reduce the amount of toxins they were putting into the air just because we had to, right? We were forced into that position, and it was definitely needed. We didn't ask for it. The change just came. Okay, we have 2 more decks. let's do, I think I'm going to save one in particular for last. Let's look at our beautiful Llewellyn Tarot and see what death looks like here. Okay. Here is our death card from the Llewellyn Tarot. That's so pretty. I find it interesting, you know, like this glow of light here around the skeleton's head. Yeah, this is the Llewellyn. Oops, sorry. And now the animals are like, it almost looks like these two are sort of leading the way and these two are running away. Yeah, the halo around death, right? Or is that the sun rising behind him? Or yeah, lots of doggies. I noticed the doggies right for the doggy. I noticed the dogs right first thing as well. Hi, Naomi. It's nice to see you. We're on our fourth alternate card here today. They look like they're hunting. Oh, yeah, that's an interesting point. What is he holding? A ball of what? What does the book say? Oh, I can pull the, we'll take a look. So I think that's the tip of the horn. Is that what that is? Is that what you're talking about? What? Focus, there it is. Yeah, but I do have the book here. The Angel of Death. He looks like the Earl King. No flag, no other people, notices Christina. Yeah. Now, there's a lot in this book for each of these cards, but I'll just read the description. I'm not going to read the meaning because that's like a couple pages long. But it says the traditional tarot imagery of the death card varies from a skeleton mowing communities, as in the manner of the plague, to a mounted figure with a scythe, I never remember how to pronounce that correctly, cutting down individual representatives of the differing social classes, symbolizing death as the great leveler of society. Other decks are of a quiet tone, depicting death as a calm skeleton hunter, sometimes bandaged and equipped with bow and arrow. And TK isn't a fan of the dogs. He's just like, I don't know what he's just like walking, like he's walking in circles around my area and goes out into the hallway and then he comes back. You know? And it probably sounds really loud through this webcam as well. So what is this? Does this bring a different feeling? Does this kind of harken for you back more to our, I mean, it does, I think, for me, but I do think it's interesting. Like, you know, this definitely has that hunter feel, the searching field, versus the I've just trampled over all your stuff and all your people feel, which I think is kind of interesting. It feels faster, says Jen. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, Baker wants to make friends with TK. Tell Baker TK says hi. Someday they'll get to play together. At least that would be nice. Whispering, oh, the whispering, well, Sandra. They are red-eared hunting dogs. There's a whole story around it in Welsh mythology. Oh, interesting. See, I don't have time to read all of that, but anything you want to share here would be awesome. Hunter coming to get you while riding on a horse, but no parade with this one, right? It definitely, that's triggering something for me. Like, yeah, this feels very showy, right? Very elaborate and making a big deal. And this feels more natural and silent. And maybe does anybody even know it's really happening? You know, maybe until it's too late or somebody comes along later, finds the body in the woods. I don't know. Jilly says, seasons don't fear the reaper, nor do the sun, the wind, and the rain. Is that from a song? They look like Mabels. They do look like little Mabels, don't they? Stalking death, says Christina. The big song and dance of death, says Al here. Yeah, she put that in quotes. So I feel like that's from a song of some kind. Blue Oyster Cult. Is that the name of a band? Is it that song like I don't want to sing it because I'm going to get it wrong, but um, I know there's a song that sings about Don't Fear the Reaper. It looks like the beginning of the Wild Hunt, says Heather Carter. All right, so somebody do me a favor. Jilly, will you do me a favor this week? And in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group, will you post a link to that song? I need to hear it. I'm asking as a friend if you'll do that. Don't Fear the Reaper. Okay, that is the song. I know the song. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna do it because I don't know any of the lyrics except those 3 words. Don't those 4 words. So, all right, you guys. So our fourth question was from Mike. Oh, interesting. I just love how sometimes the phrasing of these questions goes so nicely with the card that we're showing at the time. So Mike says, "What seed should I plant in my life right now?" So what seed should I plant in my life right now? And I think the reason that I like that is because this is such a nature based depiction of the card, which is why that struck me. Heather, don't be judgy. Don't be judgy at Jen. Juliet, each card so far triggered in me a picture of something that is happening right now that needs to be changed in order for us to progress in our humanity. I knew you meant me. I do know you meant me. I know the song. I know it. I just didn't know the band. All right. I mean, I don't know. No excuses. Anyway, so let's answer Mike's question for him. What seed should I plant in my life right now? I feel like this is saying you need to plant a whole lot of seeds, right? So we have death moving through this forest, and there's going to be some destruction, and there's going to be some dead foliage behind them. So maybe we just need to replant and rebuild. And so the seeds, we're talking about taking care of the earth, right? Recognizing that we can do better and allow nature to have a claim on the earth that it's always had, right? Oh, Simon posted it. Oh, thank you. One of transformation and renewal, says Jen. Get a puppy. What seed should I plant? Get a puppy. I have to tell you, my son works at a pet store, and Jamie works at a pet store too. But right now, yeah, anyway, but my son works at a pet store here in the US. And this has been a time when a lot of people, and it's probably because they're at home or probably because they're going a little stir crazy or running out to the pet store to buy pets. And some of them, maybe there's some concern. For some people, this is the right time, but people are forgetting that things are going to go back and they're not all going to be at home and able to care for these pets. And we have to make sure that when we bring those pets into our lives, we do it for the right reasons when we can really take responsibility for them. And I think there's been some concern at the PetSmart that maybe people are doing it for the wrong reasons because they're just kind of grasping for something, right? Bye, Butterfly Magic with Hot Tea. Thank you for coming. Earthy Shy Tarot says, plant a garden, new projects. Maharaj says, move deep into the woods, far away from people. Isolate. Is that planting seeds? I suppose it could. Like you have to lay the groundwork and build your shelter and do all of that. Oh, thanks for posting a link to the Facebook group, Elle. Science to Soul Jen says, I think there are literal seeds being planted by Mother Nature herself right now. Also a great time for being home with pets to train them. Yes, as long as you have a plan for them after you go back to work, if that's something that you do, if you work outside of the home. But it's interesting. It's not anything that I would have thought there would be this sudden rush on pets, but it does. It like strange things happen when we end up in uncertain times, doesn't it? All right. Thank you all for answering that question. We have one more card to pull. One more card. Let's do. So I saved I can't say the pun yet or it'll be too soon. But I saved the happiest for last with our literal happy tarot here. This came up. So let's see how the cute, adorable little happy tarot. This is the borderless version. um, depicts death for us. It's so cute. It's so cute. Okay, sorry. I'll try not to get too distracted. Oh, Heather says we've had the opposite problem, people getting rid of pets because they heard they can transmit the virus. Well, that's really unfortunate because that's just fear-based behavior, right? So here is our Happy Tarot death card. Oh, the camera really likes this card. It just wants to focus out of the gate. Death is so cute. I know, right? Actually, the Whispering Spirits death card just makes me, but I love it because we have so many of the elements here. Although, notice our king is still standing here. The Happy Tarot just couldn't trample him, apparently. Right? But we have our towers in the background here. We have our white rose, although we don't have the 5 points, right? Like we do in the standard RWS. We have our red feather, our armor, our rocking horse. Can he do much damage on a rocking horse? I'm not sure. Now, I was like, why is that child face planted there? So is the child been, oh, look, wait. Oh, I was looking at this as the crown, but this is a child flat. And look, it is a scepter in this card and a little crown. This is our religious figure, not the king. And the little children. But there's candy in the ground. I know. Does this mess with your mind, Jackie? A cute death card? All right, let me see some of the comments that I've missed here as I was just oohing and awing over the cuteness of the death card. Yes. Simon wants the borderless edition of this. It's a celebration, says Kathy. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know that I still saw that, but yeah, with all like what looks like balloons in the sky. There are lollipops. Nothing bad can happen. Sugar overdose. It's a thing. Let's see. Oh, yeah, a tiger in the Brooklyn Zoo did get coronavirus. That's still the only animal I've heard about to date. What's flying away on the balloons? Asked Kimberly. Oh, yeah, there's something attached there, isn't it? Okay, this wanted to focus. Focus. There we go. Candy, popsicles, lollipops. I don't know. Purple wave, clicking bye-bye. That happened last time I showed this deck too. Like there was a sudden run on the Happy Tarot. Jen says, this is so cute. I don't know what I can do with this meaning-wise, but I like how similar it is to the RWS. A dead child. I love the happy. I mean, think about it. That's kind of dark and twisted if you think about it. This trampled what looks to be a child. I don't think actually, even though they look like children, I don't think they're actually supposed to be children in this deck. It might be kind of like how the Nicoletta Ciccoli is a little bit, how those are dolls, but all right. Embrace the change with hope, says Christina. Have joy in your life. Yeah. I mean, it does make you smile. It's kind of a nice way to sort of round out our different cards, right? Psychically Yours says the bright new beginning on the other side of the grim end is very prominent. Faceplant, says Sean. Yes. Oh, there was a dog that got it. Oh, I didn't hear about that. Oh, but Jen says that could have been proven false. All right, I'm just recapping the chat discussion. So our fifth question, and this one was from Jilly after we had to take Simon's off the table. How can we use the energy of this card to manifest our best this week? I mean, already I'm smiling. I feel better just for having looked at this card. Essence 818 says, see, the change isn't so bad after all. Excuse me, hiccup. Bastet, always look on the bright side of death. That's hard to do. One of the things that I always find that I do is, I'll try to find, even if it's kind of twisted, I will try to find the humor in a situation, because if you just allow yourself to get pulled so far down into what's scary and what's hard and what's sad, sometimes that can start to feel very, very weighing, and it's difficult to be able to see other things. Some people may not find that appropriate, and I don't always do it, but I will say I've probably made my best jokes in hospitals, but I'm not funny, so take that with a grain of salt. Jen says, I'm the queen of dark, twisted, inappropriate humor in dark instances. Embrace the transition of our life at the moment, says Mike. Psychically yours, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, hi, Emily. It's okay. At least you pop in to say hi. I always appreciate that. Let's see here. Science to Soul Jen, eat lollies or candy, whatever you peoples call it. Yeah, I've had to stop bringing ice cream into the house because I'm eating it much too quickly. So I'm like, okay, I don't need to go to the store. I don't need to deal with all of that madness just for ice cream. I can eat my carrots that have been hanging around, you know. Bye, Sean. Thanks for being here. Juliet says death is always followed by renewal. Kathy says balance the good with the bad. Essence says let the balloons go. Party still goes on. Life isn't defined by what you have. It's more about who you enjoy it with. Try to find the humor in the situation, right? You know, find a way to smile. I think is really important. So, you know, how can we use the energy of this card to manifest our best this week? And, you know, I think the same things kind of keep coming up, right? Remembering that this is going to pass. Remember that there are good things that can come from this. So we have lots of opportunity here. And if we take the opportunity and if we focus on the positive things that can come out of this without discounting or refusing to acknowledge the things that have been hard, the loss that has occurred, you know, that's really sad and it is hard. And it, you know, looking towards the future doesn't mean that we're forgetting about the past if we do it right, you know. So enjoy the little things in your life, says Earthy Shy Tarot. Yeah, the candy. You know, if that dark piece of chocolate can bring a moment of happiness, I definitely say go for it. Okay, there are a couple things we want to do here. So I'm going to put the Happy Tarot back down. We're going to talk about our reversals, but don't go away. I know some people, if you don't read with reversals, you bow out. But there's a couple final things I want to do in Playdate today. We'll obviously talk about our activity for the week, which should be interesting. I have no idea what it is. And then also, I'm going to ask for a collective group hug energy from this group. So if you can stick around with us as we wrap this up, I will really appreciate it. So, death card reversed. Or if you don't read reversals like me, you know, what happens when you see this card come up in a challenged or blocking energy type position, you know, in the Celtic cross when things cross, you know, or when you see this as a what to avoid or things like that. How do you yeah, Jen, if you're having a good time talking about death, let's hit that thumbs up. That's so, I don't know why it struck me. I told you, inappropriate humor. Anyway, what do you guys think when this card is reversed? What does this mean to you? Psychically yours, resisting change, right? Not going with that energetic flow or trying to push back on that and maybe causing yourself more hardship in the long run. Not letting go of things that hold us back, says Michelle. Juliet says, you know, sees that as a stagnant energy. I almost see all of the reversals as sort of stagnating the energy of the card, right? Essence 818, refusal to make that change. Gracia, denial of the change that is coming. I think denial is probably a really important concept when this card is not in its upright, typical position. Inappropriate humor is the best kind. Wendy. Oh, hi, Wendy. Saying hi. Nice to see you. Emily says, it makes me think of Peter Pan resisting development and growth, right? Like, I don't want to grow up. Flogging a dead horse. Yeah, right? Or kicking somebody when they're down, right? Yeah, this has been a really great discussion. Kathy says, deny that there is anything to change. Let's see. Let's see if my little app can help us out today too with reversals. Let's see what you guys think of this app that's only available on Android because, well, you know. Hey, shh. Death when reversed, burning bridges, running away, fear of change, refusing to let go. See, I don't need an app because I have you all. Sorry about the dogs there. First you hear TK, now you hear Vaughn. You almost never hear Eddie because he's the good one. But all right. Let's talk about our activity for the week. I'm going to share with you the alternate activity. If you have the Tarot Playbook and like to play in this, There's always an activity to help you get to know your cards or your deck in general. It's not necessarily, even though it's associated with a card, it's not necessarily associated with the energy of the card, which is what our activities do. This one's called All Wrapped Up on page 34. But let me look up our activity that we came up with for this card. So, and then we will wrap this thing up. I just tried to look up 13 of Death. What? What? All right. So this activity is called, and don't worry about frantically writing it down. As you know, or at least most of you know, if you're new here, I will post the activity in the description box below when this video uploads or finishes processing. That could, based on my experience from yesterday, take up to 24 hours, so be patient. If you don't want to be patient, you can go into the Facebook group that Elle just very timingly posted the link to, and I will have it there as well. So this activity is called All Endings Bring New Beginnings. With each ending comes the opportunity to begin again. Try this game with your cards. Draw 3 cards and then craft a story in your mind that these 3 cards tell, where card 1 represents the beginning, card 2 represents the middle, and card 3 represents the ending. So just like a classic story, right? Beginning, middle, end. Now, set cards 1 and 2 aside. So, right? Now, these are all the same card, obviously, right? But you have 1, 2, and 3, beginning, middle, end. Put down beginning and middle. Now draw 2 more cards, and card 3 has become 1. So how is that now the beginning of a new story? And you can keep going with that cycle forever and ever, right? So you draw your next 2 cards, these 2 go down, now this card becomes the beginning. So you can kind of play with your tarot if you want, just a fun exercise to see the transformation and how your endings become your beginnings. So one final thing that I want to do, and I asked for permission before I talked about this, but we have 2 wonderful people in our community that are right now being affected by COVID-19. Elle's dad and Jackie's husband is currently in the hospital. He's been diagnosed with the coronavirus and has gone through some ups and downs this week. And these people are very important to me. We have a lot of wonderful people in this community who I feel can send loving, healing energy to these people that I care so much about. So if you can please direct any healing, loving energy to them and what they're going through, I would really appreciate it. I know they would really appreciate it. Elle and Jackie, my heart and my thoughts are with you. I wish I could do more, but thank you for maintaining such good humor. I think you guys have really demonstrated how we can embrace change and challenges in the best possible way. So thank you to everybody who is sending them love and healing energy. I very much appreciate it. Jackie, I hope this is okay. I did ask Elle permission before I brought this up, but thank you for being such a wonderful and supportive and loving community, and for loving and supporting these people that we care so much about. So on that note, let's embrace change this week. Let's really pull together. Let's look at the happy tarot version of the Death card as we end today's tarot play date. I am sending hugs and love to everyone. If you need people, if you need support, know that I am one of those people that's here and willing to give it. So thanks for coming together today. It has been a fantastic play date, probably one of my favorites still to date and so far. And let's hope for mixed recovery. All right, you guys, thank you. I will talk to you all very soon, and I wish you the very best of weeks in embracing all the change that comes and maintaining hope for what's to come. Love y'all.